We've spent all month talking about prospects. Oh, this is who I'd like. Oh, this is who that person would like. Oh, this is who Boy Green likes. This is who, right? We're just going through and talking about who we all like. Well, let's talk about who the Jets actually like. So, Boy Green and I, what we're doing is talking to the people that the New York Jets have gone out of their way to reach out to and speak with, whether it be at the combine, their pro day, a top 30 visit, any other type of visit, a virtual visit, right? A private workout, all of the above. If the Jets have reached out, we will go from that list and isolate the prospects that the Jets are most interested in. So this is a nice episode. Stay tuned after the intro. It's Boy Green meets Wudi.
Can you guys help us get a Jet chant here? Yeah, going.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. Come on in.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go!
J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets! Let's go! J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets! Let's go! There you go, Wudi!
Third Party Thursday.
Chris joining us here on the program with a capital P here on the program.
Jake Asman, come on down. How you doing, good sir?
Wow, what an intro. I mean, Boy Green is known for having the intro, but Wudi, that was unreal, man. Thanks for the kind words, son.
We are men of many names.
My favorite Austrian Jets fan right there,
Nice.
baby. Boy Green.
It's Wudi. Welcome to another episode of Boy Green Meets Wudi. It is your boy James Wudi, and you already know we are Wudi, rocking everywhere. Right here is the boy who became king. No, he's not in my house. All right, looks like he might be just in another room in my house. He's not. But it's his Boy Green himself, Mr. Paul Esden Jr., and we are ready to talk New York Jets today, baby. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing awesome. I'm constantly on the move. You never know where I'm going to be. I guess that's like the Jets draft strategy this year. You got to be on the tip of your toes and the edge of your seats for everything that's possible. So I'm fired up. I love this. This is an annual show. Shout out to Dom C., Jets analyst out there and draft analyst out there in our universe. That has done a really wonderful job keeping tabs on where the Jets are meeting all these guys in this back alley, that back alley, and giving us a sense of who they're paying the most attention to. So I absolutely love it. And as we start this show, baby, I'm going to throw this up on the board because today is the last day, Wudi. Today is the last day for this, our amazing, massive, major giveaway. If you want a chance to win the 2025 Jets draft hat, the 2025 Jets draft shirt, and the movie Draft Day, well, you better submit some raffle tickets. Buy some memberships on this show, baby, here on YouTube. Feel free to do it. Again, you can purchase a Boy Green Coffee Club membership in the YouTube description down below, or you can give memberships on YouTube. If you're watching, hit the little money sign, and the final option is give channel memberships. Make sure you do it. It's only $2.99 to win all of these amazing prizes. It's the best deal in sports, and today is the last day of business. We'll be revealing this winner on the show tomorrow morning on Boy Green Daily. So, folks, make sure you get it while the getting's good.
Yes, absolutely. Get it while it's hot. While it's hot, the last day. And we'll see. I'm definitely excited to see who ends up with that copy. Again, I still gotta watch Draft Day. I got how many days? I got like 9 days. 9 days.
That's right. Yeah.
To watch Draft Day before Draft Day. And speaking about 9 days, I hope these boys at One Jets Drive, I hope Darren Muja, I hope Aaron Glenn, they are out here working, burning the midnight oil to try to figure out what's going to happen, right? You know, who are they going to get? Of course, you know, Thursday's just one day. We still got Friday, Saturday. And I think, you know, the people that we were talking about today might be more Friday, Saturday than Thursday, I would imagine. But just quick off the top, I see Matthias in here ask me a question. Pick at 7. I would say there's really 3 names that I would be happy with. You know, 3 names that, you know, I hear the name and I'm like, all right, you know, let's go. I'm ready for the season. Tyler Warren, yep. Armand Membu and Mason Graham. right? Any name outside of that three, there's just less happiness. It could be unless it's like someone slid, Abdul Carter slid. Then your boy out here doing a cartwheel. But any of those other names that we've heard, a QB, that's Fury. That's Fury. If it's a QB, any QB, I don't care who it is, that's Fury. But yeah, I think those three names I'll be happy with. Any other name outside of that, just less happiness.
Fair enough. That's about right. Mason Graham, Tyler Warren, Armand Membu, those would all be fun. There's a few other names that aren't on the immediate list, but if they make them, we're having some juice. We're having some wee. And that's Ashton Genty, perhaps. That'd be crazy.
No. That's Fury. That's Fury. How dare you say those stupid words, boy?
Sorry, man.
My God, stop trying to get rid of my guys, man. Stop trying to get rid of my guys.
Yeah, all right. So we'll see.
Shout out to three siblings, because I used to say, "Give me Ted or give me death."
Yeah, you removed him from your list. I noticed that. You removed him
no. I would still be
top
super happy with that. I would still be super happy with that.
Okay, he's on the list.
As a matter of fact, it's just that with Alan Lazard taking the pay cut, it's just like, all right, well, there's a lot of receivers now. There's a lot of veteran receivers, so the need isn't as strong as it was. Where I thought that Lazard was gone, all these people weren't getting signed. But yeah, I would still be super happy with Ted. So the decrease of happiness, very, very minute.
Fair enough. I love that. Let's dive right into it here, Woody. There's a lot of players on this list from Dom C that could be of interest for a variety of reasons, and I'm actually going to go to a fan shout out here, Gohan Angered, who said, "Did they meet with a Kentucky cornerback?" Let's bring him in. He's, of course, talking about Maxwell Hairston, and the Jets did. They brought him in for a top 30 visit, a really talented corner. You already mentioned it, out of Kentucky. This boy lit up the combine. 6 foot flat, 183 pounds, baby. He's corner 4 on Dane Brugler's The Beast Guide, 35th overall best player, a 2-year starter out of Kentucky, and he is an interesting player. Again, if you go to the combine, he ran that 4.28 blazing 40-yard dash time. Oh, baby. But here's the thing that it sort of intrigues me, because it's not just Maxwell Hairston. You look at the Jets with a lot of cornerbacks. There's Trey Amos. There's Quincy Riley. There's Maxwell Hairston. Roger Longerbeam, which is a great name. Monroe Carlin Vigers there out of Louisiana Monroe. There's just a lot of corners they've met with. And I start counting around the room. I'm like, well, we got Sauce Gardner. Okay, I got that guy. Michael Carter II, no longer the highest paid nickel in football. He has since been topped, but he held that title for a little bit. And then Brandon Stevens, where is the room for the other corner? That part is unclear to me. So I like Maxwell Hairston too. He says, Gohan Anger says he's his favorite corner in the draft. Very nice. And I love the player a lot. And I would have loved him if we didn't sign Brandon Stevens. Woody, that's a part that quite frankly confuses me. Now, for folks that don't know what a top 30 visit is, and not everyone we talk about would be top 30 visits, there's a lot of different meetings throughout the offseason that we'll highlight here. But you normally bring in someone if you have questions about them, because you could bring them into their facilities and try to get some of those pressing questions. If it's a clean prospect, most of the time you don't need that visit. For instance, what's today? Tuesday, obviously. Mason Graham is visiting with the Jets right now today on his top 30 visit. So it's sort of interesting all around the board. But the corner thing kind of confuses me, Woody, to be honest.
This was something that to me was a big need heading into the offseason. They addressed it with Brandon Stevens. I know some of you have been able to be convinced that, that's an adequate replacement for the great DJ Reed. Others have not been so convinced. So I think this is, to get someone of Harrison's caliber in there is a great way to kind of get that fail safe. I know there are people already on the roster that I think are popular with the fans. Of course, our boy Quantez Stiggers immediately comes to mind. And that might be, a place that they go, but I think Harrison, that's somebody who, if we talked about people in February, in March, who are people that we're interested in looking at, I think he would be at the top of everybody's list. So still doing our due diligence, despite having Brandon Stevens, I think is the right move. I think it's the right move. And if something happens and he does end up becoming a New York Jet, now you have that fail-safe option. Aaron Glenn, he said a couple of things, or he keeps saying a couple of things. One thing is smart, intelligence, smart football players. Another thing is speed. And last time I checked, 4.28 is pretty fast.
That's for damn sure.
He's definitely an Aaron Glenn guy. And who knows? Maybe they're kicking themselves right now. Like, damn, maybe we shouldn't have committed so much to Stevens because, but no, we'll see. We'll see. But I think it's a right move bringing him in for a visit, and we'll see what happens if he can become a New York Jet.
Yeah, his nickname, for those curious, is Mad Max. That was his nickname back in college. He's, again, a very talented player, also lettered in basketball and track. He is the youngest of 4 children, was born and raised in Michigan, which, again, all those Aaron Glenn Lions connections out there. Now, this past year, he didn't play a full season due to injury, but the year prior, in 2023, this man had 5 picks. I'll take some of those interceptions in the Jets secondary, baby. So he's one that the Jets have met with on a top 30 visit who really intrigues me, Woody. He's on my list.
Yes, absolutely. Let me start my list.
Yeah,
at a position that I'm really I couldn't be more concerned about. All right. I feel like every episode I keep saying the same thing till I'm blue in the face. And it's that, we got Stone Smart, Jeremy Rucker, that's a tight ends right now. And the Jets, they've met with a couple of tight ends. When I say a couple, I mean 6, actually, to be exact. But of the 6 tight ends that they've met with, they've only met with 2 of them more than once. All right. So one of them is, the man behind the Warriors, Tyler Warren, right? The Warren Warriors unite. They've met with him 3 times. But the only other one that they met with more than once is actually Terrence Ferguson out of Oregon. All right. They had a private workout with him, and then also attended his pro day. For those of you who are not that familiar with him, we're talking about 6'5", 247 pounds. So this is a big dude. Number one thing about him that I guess the scouters say is the catch radius. He extends to the highest point of the ball, can go low, right? Use that wingspan, and that's something. The last time I heard that about someone, and then they became a Jet, was Garrett Wilson, who I think we all love, and has proved to have an elite catch radius. So that is something that we love to hear. Something we don't love as much is the biggest weakness, as scouters say, for Terrence, which is that the blocking, right? I think that's a big reason why people are on the Warren Warrior train. Or I should have said wagon. I missed that.
You did. Yeah.
But we all know that Tyler is a great blocker, can help out in that run game. That's something that Terrence would have to improve on. But the good thing is that he already has the natural size and athleticism. Of all the tight ends that participated in the combine, his athleticism score was the second highest among that position. Right, so this is a premium athlete with great size, great strength, just doesn't have the mechanics. And if Aaron Glenn, I'm gonna keep saying this until his regime's over, I'm a coach. That's what he's saying, not defensive, not offensive. He's a coach. So if he can coach this man into becoming a great blocker, we might be getting somebody. He's projected to be a round 3 pick. That could be potential great value if they can get this man blocking on the field.
Yeah, that would be pick 73 specifically for the Jets in your bingo cards there in the 3rd round. We've highlighted some comments on here in social media here. And Terrence saying, Wudi, you enjoy saying my name, don't you? Terrence action. I know one Terrence will be happy about another Terrence being selected. I will throw another shout out on Instagram because we're streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, Take Flight Talk. James Woody's Jets channel. So if you're watching over here, make sure you support over there as well. But let me go over to the Instagram because I see Penfield Library, And hey, Boy Green, what's your favorite book for the Penfield Library at your alma mater, SUNY Oswego? I'm getting some SUNY Oswego love in the comment section. Our library chiming in. And I'll tell you this. Thank you so much for the question. I'm a big reader. I love to read up and down, left to right. It's my preferred methodology when I'm reading a book. And I'll tell you the book that stands out to me that connects sort of everything together. If you guys haven't read it, Quiet Strength. It's Tony Dungy's book, and it balances the 3 F's: family, faith, and football, and his religious beliefs with the passion for the game of football and the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. It's a really beautiful story about some great football stories, certainly from his Super Bowl championship with Peyton Manning against the Chicago Bears. And my grandpa used to always love bringing up Peyton Manning in that AFC championship game against New England Patriots. The winner played this Bears team that everyone thought was Devin Hester and then a bunch of guys. And so Quiet Strength is a book I highly recommend. Thank you, the Penfield Library, the Instagram account, giving the shout out for my college, SUNY Oswego, which I love 1,000,000%. So thank you so much. God bless. Really appreciate you. So again, appreciate all the comments, everybody. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. We've got 200 people in the room. Here on the channel as well. So make sure you guys rock up, baby, and show your support by sending in some of those. So apologies for any technical difficulties that may be sort of coming in and out here. Apologies to the people there in the comment section. All right, let's go to another name here, Woodster, here on the sheet of someone that the New York Jets have met with. And we've talked about a lot of defensive tackles. Some of the ones the Jets have met with throughout this process: Kenneth Grant, Joshua Farmer, Mason Graham, Nazir Stackhouse, Shamar Turner, Derek Harmon, a lot of big names here, Woody. But the one I don't think we've been talking enough about is Joshua Farmer out of Florida State. And we hadn't about Harmon either, but we tried to give him some more love recently. I think we need to start looking at some of the other defensive tackles because we all agree it's a position of need. But which one the Jets are going to chase is the real question, I think, for a lot of us. Joshua Farmer is out of Florida State. He is Dane Brugler's 10th ranked defensive tackle in the class and 76 overall prospect. He's 6'3", 305 pounds. He's a fourth-year junior. He's 22 years of age, a very, very talented guy, 2-year starter at Florida State that lined up as a 2-eye and 3 technique in Adam Fuller's 4-man front. He's a third-round pick projection. Again, the Jets only have 1 third-round pick currently, 73. We'll see if any trades or anything of that nature pops up. But this is a big boy that Dane Brugler described as broad, thick bill with big hands and long arms. An NFL scout told Dane Brugler he was in the best shape of his life when the season kicked off this year, and just this explosive defensive tackle. Again, we just need to start talking about other names. I love Kenneth Grant. I love Mason Graham, who we talked about earlier, but we need to have some name diversity here, some variety in the diet, because there's a chance the Jets like somebody that we haven't talked about. Joshua Farmer is someone they've met with. I've heard Bills fans here locally in New York. I'm not in New York right now, but locally in New York, I've been drooling over Joshua Farmer. And if they are, maybe we should be too. It's a guy we haven't talked enough about.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a big old body in the middle, which is, what the Bills need. I think, obviously it's a position of need for us as well. And I think we all have agreed that, Quinnen provides a lot of great pass rush. If the person next to Quinnen can, offer run stoppage, they don't really necessarily need to be, a pass rush specialist the way that Quinnen can get in the backfield. So with that being said, I think Joshua Farmer would be a pretty solid fit here for the New York Jets. I think that's somebody, just plug and play right there. Having, Nadi in there, right, having the veteran presence, they can go in there and compete for snaps. And that's what you want. You want iron to sharpen iron. You don't want situations where people are drafted and they're just immediately shunned because, we're paying this person X amount of dollars, which is, I guess, Boy Green's point with Harrison, the corner, right, with Brandon Stevens. In this situation, Farmer can come in, right, compete, have a healthy competition, and boom, there you go. So I think that's not a bad highlight of the list.
Well, thank you, Woody. Here's another shout out. Let's give a shout out to the legend. Mike Westhoff is watching our stream. Longtime Jets special teams coordinator. Again, if I had to pick another book, Mike Westhoff, it'd be Figure It Out, the book you wrote, pal. That's currently in my library, and I have a lot of notes. Mike Westhoff, we're still going to do that interview, buddy. I'll be reaching out to you soon to put those pieces together. So to the GOAT, the legend, Mike Westhoff, the greatest special teams coordinator of all time, deserves a bust in the Pro Football Hall of Fame Canton for his contributions to the game of football. An absolute legend. Salute to Mike Westhoff joining us here on the show. So no pressure, Woody. Give us the next name as Mike Westhoff is carefully looking at you for what name you're about to bring up for the Jets.
Well, hey, I'm sure he is just enjoying the banter, enjoying the names. So I will throw out another name. But first I will address the position for which his name is coming from, and his quarterback, right? That's snake bitten position. We've been trying to find, that answer. Some of you think that the answer has just been found, randomly found in free agency. But for those of us who are not yet convinced, still having the terrors at night, there are a lot of names. There are a lot of names that people have said: Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe, right? I've been saying Will Howard. Sure. But if you go with the Jets, who have the Jets met the most, you may be surprised at who that is, because this player has had a private workout for the Jets. He had a formal meeting at the combine for the Jets. They did attend his pro day. Okay, I'm talking about Quinn Ewers, the QB at Texas, and that's kind of surprising to me. When we look at his profile, 6'2", 214 pounds, kind of undersized, bigger than Zach Wilson, but kind of undersized, and a lot of his positive traits do sound a lot like Zach Wilson with the off-balance throws, different arm angles, can do a lot of different types of throws with the arm angle. But the biggest weakness is, reading the defense, right? Staring his first option, looking at that first target and just staring him down, not being able to adjust pre-snap to post-snap. And those are things that, I feel like some of you may feel like I'm reading a Zach Wilson biography. So, Quinn Ewers, right, wasn't my pick, wasn't my choice. I'm bringing him up because he is the most met with quarterback prospect by the Jets. So, is there something that they are seeing that I'm not seeing? Because it's, like I said, I'm reading things, I'm seeing things undersized, all these different buzzwords that don't really get me hyped, but they got to be hyped on something.
Yeah, I prefer a different Texas quarterback. What's that Manning kid coming out? That's the Texas quarterback I want to pluck from that Texas tree. But no, I'm glad you brought it up because it's notable, obviously. Who are they meeting with? Who are the Jets saying, hey, let's take another look at? And then another look at? And then another look at? Like, good Lord. They are trying to find out his, whether or not he's an organ donor, his blood type, social security number, everything apparently is on the table with Quinn Ewers. So I love that at quarterback. Again, we will see if they pluck it again. If you guys listen to our conversation earlier today, we had Nick Baumgartner from The Athletic on Boy Green Daily this morning. He talked about, and he has, on top of being a national draft analyst, he also covers the Detroit Lions and covered Aaron Glenn when he was there. So he had some interesting insights on the quarterback conversation. But I love the shout out to Quinn Ewers. Not my favorite guy, but hey, that's someone the Jets are looking at. This isn't just about who we like. It's also interesting, again, to the very point that you just made from that perspective. Let me throw another one out there that might be a little wild. Maybe the couch, you're like, who now? What about Charles Grant from William and Mary, baby? 6'5", 309 pounds. He's the 8th ranked offensive tackle in this class, 89th overall on the big board from Dane Brugler. He's a 4-year starter, locked down the left tackle position for William and Mary. They operated a creative zone-based run scheme, Dane Brugler explained. And he enrolled as a 240-pounder with very little football experience, but blossomed into this blindside protector. He was named a finalist for the Walter Payton Award, which recognizes the top offensive player in the FCS. So he's a big boy. Obviously, the immediate questions people are going to ask is, okay, what about level of competition? He came in as a no-star recruit. I feel like I'm making the joke from Logan's Yard where Chris Rock's like, am I a half-star? with Adam Sandler and everybody as he's trying to figure it out. So he's an interesting guy. Again, another third-round guy. Again, there's only so many third-round picks that the Jets have, but this is a guy that the Jets obviously are going to need to reshuffle some offensive line pieces potentially, depending on which tackle they end up getting. Do they believe that Charles is capable? Again, this is a player that they've met with, which really intrigues me, obviously, because all of these names, if we haven't mentioned that already, is someone that they've met with. And they've met with them several times happening over they did the formal meeting at the Combine, which sometimes, depending, can be an intimate experience talking about some of these players. So Charles Grant, to me, is an interesting one. One none of us are talking about, obviously, in the offensive tackle room. Do they believe he can flip to the other side, or is he just the elite blindside protection for Olu Fashio? I wouldn't mind some depth potentially happening there too, but I believe he might have the ability to flip over to the right side. So smaller school, that's always a big question, but a guy who's super talented.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the more interesting names on the list of names that they've met. We're looking for that offensive tackle. I saw somewhere on social media somebody saying, other teams can draft linemen, in the third, fourth round and have them become studs, and the Jets have no such luck. You got to draft in first round, and they still might bust after that. Charles Grant, I think that's a very interesting prospect. You already see with his story, his quickness to learn, his aptitude to learn quicker than others, right? There's not too many 0-star recruits that are now, looking to be in the NFL that are eligible to be in the draft. So that already tells you in terms of aptitude. And that's probably why they went the route that they went, right? They went with the formal meeting at the Combine, right? That is a lot of picking of the mind, how it works, how that's going to blend with their philosophy versus, attending a pro day where that's, kind of less intimate was actually the word Boy Green used. So I'll use the same, right? Less intimate. You're looking at drills where if they are confident in, being a coach, then okay, they can, coach him on how to move, how to flip over to the side, but getting the mentals of, what type of person this Charles is, what type of passion does he have for the game of football? I think that's a very intriguing pick. And if Membu is not the choice, of course, that's kind of where we've been with the names that we've said, right? If Warren's not the choice, Terrence Ferguson, right, is somebody to look out for in that third round. If Membu's not the choice, Charles Grant is somebody to look out for in that third round. So that's seems like we keep going there. Josh Farmer, right? If Mason Graham is not the choice, then Joshua Farmer is a potential option in the third round. So that is the trend so far with everything that we've been saying so far.
Hey, by the way, Woody, we need to get some confirmation here. Okay, so we have this draft day giveaway that's coming up. And we throw this on here, and people are seeing the hand in the bottom left-hand corner holding up the Jets draft hat, and they're asking what's going on here. So let's go to the comment section real quick, okay? We have Morning Woody jumping in here. If you win the draft day party pack, does that lady with the pretty red fingernails come with it? Assuming that's not your hand, Boy Green, and you just got your nails done, it can't be Woody's hand. So what's happening here, Woody? Let's throw this up on the board. Let's try to debunk this if we can. What's happening here? Whose hand is this?
Me. Wow. I am. I've been put on the case. I would imagine. Did you? Where did you get this picture from? Did you take this picture? You did not take this picture. Did somebody take this picture on your behalf, or is this just a rip from Google? Which is okay. We've all ripped from Google in the past, right? That's up to you. That's. I guess you can let us know.
First off, let me just
say you're not polygraphed, so you can really say whatever.
Yeah, right. And we're breaking down this picture. I feel like if I was to take this picture, where is this woman? If I'm taking this picture, this feels like she's holding both the hat and taking the photo. So, here's the thing. I could just lay it straight here. At the Super Bowl, the world got a sneak peek at all the draft hats because, of course, there's a new design every year. So it's our people, thanks over to Matthew Berry's Fantasy Life and NBC. They are the ones that revealed this. So that's how we got the draft hat, because we announced this giveaway almost simultaneously when the draft hats became available for purchase just in how it all worked out. So no hand comes with it, but I do recommend that everybody gets on top of this thing. Because like I said, today's the last day. Normally our giveaways go through the entire month. Shout out to our father, Hop on Pop. He had the idea of, hey, why don't we cut the giveaway halfway through the month so people have a chance to have this on the actual draft, which of course I would love. So again, today's the last day of business to submit your raffle tickets. It could be super chats, it could be memberships, and I'd love to give out some memberships too. So if we get 5 or 10 memberships, I'll jump in on the membership gifting here on Boy Green Meets Woody today. So again, draft hat, draft shirt, and the DVD. We'll reveal that winner on the show live tomorrow morning. So continue to send in your raffle tickets, people, if you're watching on the show. Make sure you do so. Let's go. I appreciate that. Jug Artist says, Paul Boy Green looking good, fresh out of the spa. I appreciate you like the color choice, the color palette I chose there on the fingernails. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. So, yeah, send in those memberships, baby. Keep it rolling. As Christopher says, please like, support, subscribe, super chat, membership, Boy Green, Woody, deserve it. Which, by the way, let me go back up to Christopher for a second before we continue on here. Let me see. Let me make sure I highlight the right comment here from Christopher. He's been very engaged in this comment section. Thank you, Christopher. Appreciate you, pal. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see. Where was it? I'm so sorry. This is horrible. Here it is, Christopher. I'm sorry for the delay. Hey, Boy Green Woody. Love your guys' New York Jets content. You guys are awesome. New York Jets content creators and fans. JETS, Jet. Again, make sure, and Christopher, thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it. We love doing the show every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 o'clock. Live here on the program, and we really enjoy doing this. So it's great that we've been able to connect the dots and do this for so long, and we're very, very blessed. So thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it, Christopher.
1,000%. Holy, do I appreciate that? It's not every time that I'm getting a positive message. It's like, yo, you don't like Fields, you're but yes, no, to receive the love. Yes, we out here doing what we do, trying to give you the best possible information. That's what it really is. I'm trying to inform the people, right? Trying to, what we see, what goes across our desks, trying to deliver so that we are informed, that we are prepared. And then of course, Boy Green's out here with the energy, with the chutzpah, he would say, to kind of bring it all together. So definitely we are here. And for today's episode, I pretty much got one other name, and it's about to break. It's about to break the trend that I just outlined of, if we don't get this person at 7, here's a 3rd round replacement. Because this guy's actually projected to be in the 5th round. But the reason why I am bringing him up is because, again, just like some other people that I've mentioned, he is the person that was most spoken to by the Jets in his position. Okay, we're talking about the wide receiver that had the most meetings with the New York Jets these last few weeks, and that is Nick Nash, somebody who I can't lie, I had heard of 0 times. All right. He is at the San Jose State Spartans. All right. So for them to fly out to San Jose State and see him live in his pro day, and then also have a private workout, means that there's a level of interest. And when I started looking at his profile, I'm like, 4, 5, 7, 40. I'm like, 6 years senior. That must mean he might be older than me coming into the league. But then, you start doing a deep dive and you start learning a little bit more about who he is as a person. He came into college as a dual threat QB. And when you think about some of those guys that have made the transition from QB to wide receiver, you think about a Julian Edelman, or even this might be a random name, but Terrell Pryor, right?
Wow.
He was able to do that, in the league, but he had a 1,000-yard season as a receiver. So you think about what is required as a QB mentally, and you almost automatically have a leg up in the mental intangibles required to play wide receiver. They call him ultra competitive, super competitive, that just bleeds off the tape, and high football character. Obviously, this is somebody who loves the game if he's out here playing it 6 years in a row in college. So when you talk about an Aaron Glenn guy, he might not have the speed, but he has the character, he has the grit, he has that competitiveness. And with a guy like Sean Jefferson improving his route tree, his potential is super high. They say with the right coach, he could actually be a very talented slot receiver on the next level because of all the intangibles, because of the competitiveness, and his physical ability to run routes. He just, obviously it's kind of newer to him, so they, dumbed down the route tree. But with someone like Sean Jefferson being able to bring that out, looking at Garrett Wilson every day just through osmosis, I think this is a super interesting, again, round 5, round 6 type of guy who may not be making splashes in 2025, but in 2026, like the years to come, it's worth looking at what he could be.
That was a beautiful diatribe, James Wudi. I have one question for you coming off that. Any relation to Kevin Nash?
I don't know. He could be.
Okay.
Right. Kevin Nash is a tall dude, and
sure.
6'2" is not
Diesel,
that bad. So
big sexy.
Could be distant cousin.
Okay, there you go. That was my.
But then again, his height is actually probably way closer to Steve Nash, so that might be
the Nash family. Can't wait for that family reunion, baby. And as Hep says, he blocks. If you don't block, you don't get the rock, as AG said back at the annual league meeting. So a classy response there as well. And this is a name I want to give 2 shout outs right here. First off, to my former intern Eddie Gallagher out there in the comment section, my former intern Eddie, who's trying to do his own show on YouTube and everything else. He's killing it. So shout out to him. Want to throw that out there to my boy Eddie. And another person I want to shout out to is the name I'm about to say, Sharon McLean, who's out at our YouTube section, has been all over this name. And so have I. Oronde Gadsden, baby. Syracuse NFL bloodlines. I feel like I'm about to introduce Roman Reigns here, for God's sakes. Oronde Gadsden, the second, baby. 6'5", 241 pounds of man. A 2-year starter at Syracuse. He started out as a wide receiver, and then he moved into, as Dane Brugler likes to call it, a joker tight end role. I covered him here in Syracuse, as this lead guy for the Orange. And he is projected as a 4th-round pick, and that would be a steal of steals for the New York Jets if they could get him. He's just rangy. He's tall. He's got great hand strength, which is one of my favorite things about him. And he was responsible for 16 catches of 20 yards or more in 2024. That's 4th most among FBS tight ends. He is explosive and can make these massive plays. And some of the things that you're going to question a little bit is if you give him some physicality, sometimes that could cause some issues. He also had a Liz Frank injury in 2023 that cost him to miss the entire season. But he bounced back this past season and looked awesome. So it was incredibly rewarding. He has a younger sister, Gabby, who was born and raised in South Florida. Again, his father played in the league. Oronde Gadsden, his father was an undrafted free agent wide receiver out of Winston-Salem back in '95. He signed with the Dallas Cowboys, went into Super Bowl, bounced between a lot of teams, won Rookie of the Year honors in the AFL before finding a home with the Miami Dolphins from 1998 through 2003. A couple of years with Dan Marino. So, baby, the Gadsden NFL bloodlines. He's a guy I really love. So give me Oronde Gadsden Jr.
I definitely, would welcome him to the Jets. Those second generation players, they just grow up. They, that's all they know, watching, in this case, daddy, but sometimes mommy, do this, do that. The osmosis, what I just said before, right? Just picking it up. I will not lie though. If that's like the only pick that they like, if that's the tight end room is Gadsden, Stone Smart, and Jeremy Ruckert, I'm gonna have to talk to somebody.
What about a discount double check? Sharon's been saying this. Tyler Warren and Oronde Gadsden. Bang, bang. Get 2 guys who just completely flipped the room. The Jets did it in 2017 with the double dip at safety. Jamal Adams, Marcus May. Pow, pow. We do that at tight end.
Yeah, I mean that if they got packages for that, that's more of a Tanner Engstrand question, right? If they got packages for that, sure. But that's not me for me to say that, as you already know, I am not at all a record hater. I know you think that he, used to work for the Taliban or something. Like, you have your own issues with him. I do not have any hate or disdain for Jeremy Ruckert. I am just saying that I need more. I don't want to say proven because then you can say, oh well, every rookie's unproven, but I just need higher ceiling talents in the room right now. The Stone Smart ceiling is somewhere down there, and the Rugged ceiling, I believe is higher than that, but still somewhere that I need to look down. The ceiling of some of the guys that we've talked. I mean, Tyler Warren ceiling, right? Like I'm gonna crank my neck, trying to look up there. So yeah, I think tight end. Like if tight end is not addressed within the first 3 rounds, I feel like I'm gonna be upset. I will be upset.
Fair enough. Let me throw a question at you. This is coming from our Instagram. So again, shout out Jamal Canterbury jumping in here. He says, "Hey guys, love the show. What's your thoughts on trading back with Dallas to get another second round pick? Warren at 12, then Conley Jr. and Trey Amos in the second round. Trey Amos would be great with the slight question to the cornerback room. So there's a lot there. But what about dropping potentially from 7 to 12 with Dallas? Pick up their second round pick, and then you can pick up something else. Potentially Tyler Warren, as Jamal brings up on Instagram."
I think this is unpopular opinion. I'm a big fan of trading down. I actually think, usually I like to stay. And, let's get that, amazing player. But with what this regime is clearly trying to do, what they're trying to do is get a lot of young players that they can develop. They don't, if you over 27, they hate you. So, let's with that mentality of like you're just it's Aaron Glenn's daycare, then the more the merrier, right? You trade down, now you have 2 second round picks, and if you are so confident in your ability as a coach, then okay, get all of these players and develop all of these players as much as you can, and go from there. Who knows? Now if you are the great coach that you say you are, now you have more talent. Whereas, maybe somebody had a better, had more potential, but they're not the coach that you are. So they're not, it's irrelevant because you're able to coach up a lesser talent to a higher level. So I'm cool with the trade down.
I think that's the simplest trade down that exists on any big board is just 7 to 12. Dallas, give us your second. You move up to 7 for a Genty or whatever the hell you want, and we just pick up an extra 2, an extra top 50 pick. I'm feeling great about where the Jets draft plot is sitting. Wudi, does that wrap up all your names for the show?
Yes, it does. I just want to address, I know our boy Gohan Angered just hit a Kamehameha in the comments, but I just wanted to address Sean Sharp real quick that, yes, we definitely, Boy Green has not seen, I have not seen Aaron Glenn's big board, but as Gohan Anger just said after that, by looking at the visits, right, we're able to piece. It's not like we're just let's look at this person, let's look at that person. We specifically picked out the people that the New York Jets have reached out to, and as all the names I said were the number 1 reached out person in their position. Every name I said. That's pretty much what I was using to bring them up was why did the Jets feel like they needed to meet with this person 3 times, 2 times. And then Boy Green was going off a very similar philosophy. So while we don't, we definitely don't know for sure, we definitely have an idea of A, who they're looking at, and B, the positions that they're most interested in.
I'm all for Kamehamehas. The one I would love to eventually do with Wudi is Fusion and get one of those and whoa, Boy Green beats Wudi, and get some of that action going on. That'd be terrific. Well, go the people on YouTube, Instagram. I saw we had people on Take Flight Talk as well. Thank you so much, and thank you. I believe in freedom for subscribing to the channel. We appreciate that. A name we haven't mentioned is Dante Thornton. There's a lot of names I would just say in general that they have met with that we did not get through. Obviously, there's a massive list of names. We just try to pluck some of them out. But obviously, we got a few more shows before we get to the draft, which is 9 days away, single-digit days away from the draft. We have a ton of content coming out. Boy Green Daily every morning. Boy Green Meets Wudi every Tuesday, Thursday at 3 o'clock. So hopefully we'll eventually answer those questions. And if not, the way to always get them answered is to ask them in super chat fashion. That guarantees you get some answered on any show. So make sure you guys send those in for the future. Wudi, a fun one for sure. One we definitely look forward to every year. And I will be gone. I will be traveling back. I'm unfortunately dealing with funeral services here, sadly, for a lost family member. So I will be traveling on Thursday. So I will not be here. But Wudi will have a special guest because, with someone, someone leaves, the show must go on, baby. And it certainly will on Thursday at 3 o'clock. So I'm looking forward to that. And the next week is our final show week. Wudi, we're going to unveil our mock drafts next week. I mean, woo-wee. Yeah, things are going to be popping.
Next week is draft week. That's what the whole build was. This month has been spectacular with the episodes, the guests, our boy Ryan Roberts coming in. It's been a lot of fun. So all of that crescendos up into boom, next Thursday. But, for this week, obviously I've said this personally, but publicly, my condolences. Take care. With your family, your responsibility is there. And then next week, baby, we will definitely be talking, like you said, mock drafts, the real draft, right? Boy Green will be live, the whole real draft. I will be in there at some point to share my 2 cents of my own. And then, this Thursday in 48 hours, you already know we talking. We still talking. All right, I'm talking right now. I'm talking my sleep, baby. So we gonna get it.
I can't wait. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Again, like the video, hit subscribe. We have 300 people in the room across all of our different portals that we're currently on. If you enjoy our content together, me and Wudi are always streaming on this channel. But we're also streaming on his channel, Take Flight Talk. It's streaming live right now on YouTube. Look it up. Go to YouTube. Go Take Flight Talk. Boom, boom, boom. And then hit subscribe. Like the video for James Wudi because he does content beyond just our show. He does his own content. So if you want to support him as well, that will be the way to do it, baby. So let's do it. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We will see you on Thursday for another Boy Green Meets Wudi and tomorrow morning for Boy Green Daily. Wudi, deuces.
Let's go.